In the English countryside, three friends, Nathan, Terry, and Gaz, sit in a car smoking while watching a large house. Terry's mother works there as a cleaner, and he has told his friends that the owners, Dr. Richard and his wife Ellen, go out for dinner every Friday. This provides the perfect window to rob the house and find a safe Terry believes is hidden inside. While they wait, Nathan's girlfriend, Mary, arrives on her bicycle. She is angry because Nathan took her car, which she needs to get to work. After an argument, the group sees the elderly couple leave. Nathan drives to the front of the house and Mary follows on her bike. Nathan convinces her to wait for 20 minutes while they go inside, promising she will still make it to her shift in an hour. The three men jump the fence, though Terry lands poorly and begins to limp. When they reach the door, Gaz breaks the glass to get in, prompting Terry to scold him because he knew there was a hidden key in a flower pot. Once inside, the group begins searching for the safe. Terry admits he doesn't actually know where it is, which causes Gaz to lose his temper. Gaz begins throwing things around and breaking furniture. Terry tries to clean up the mess to protect his mother's job, but Gaz continues his tantrum in other rooms. Gaz steals jewelry from the bedroom and medicine from the doctor's cabinet, while also destroying dollhouses in a room belonging to the couple's late daughter, Kate. Eventually, Terry finds the safe in the basement. However, a new problem arises. Gaz brought tools for an electronic keypad, but the safe has an old-fashioned dial lock that none of them know how to open. Outside, Mary grows impatient and begins honking the horn. She cannot leave because Gaz has her car keys. Inside, Nathan tries to force the safe open with a drill and a hammer, while Terry tries to use a stethoscope to hear the tumblers, but nothing works. Mary calls Nathan, but he ignores her until he finally answers just to tell her he isn't leaving. When Terry suggests they should give up, Nathan becomes agitated. Gaz decides they will stay until the owners return and force them to provide the combination. As night falls, Mary continues to honk and call, but the men ignore her. Terry offers to take her home, but Gaz refuses, suspecting Terry is trying to abandon them. Eventually, Nathan goes outside and convinces Mary to come into the house for 5 minutes. Once inside, he takes her phone. In a tense moment on a table, Mary reveals to Nathan that she is pregnant. Nathan isn't worried, believing the money from the safe will be enough to provide for a child. Their conversation is interrupted when they hear a car. The owners have returned earlier than expected. The men put stockings over their heads and force Mary to do the same. When Dr. Richard and Ellen enter, Nathan and Gaz attack them. Ellen follows during the struggle, cutting her hand on a broken vase. Richard pleads with them to let him treat his wife's injury. Mary, feeling guilty, brings a first aid kit and follows Richard's instructions to bandage Ellen's hand. Gaz then forces Mary to tie Ellen's hands. Richard offers him his wallet and some cash in the kitchen, but when they ask about the safe, he pretends he doesn't have one. The couple is then dragged down to the basement. Nathan becomes increasingly aggressive, slapping Richard when the doctor criticizes his behavior. Gaz threatens Ellen with a lit cigarette and eventually gives Nathan a box cutter, telling him to torture Richard for the code. Mary reaches her breaking point and runs upstairs. Gaz follows her. Mary hides in a bathroom and tries to call the police, but Gaz breaks in, drags her out by her hair, and ties her up. He slams her head against a mirror, accusing her of using her pregnancy to trap Nathan. Back in the basement, Richard tries to manipulate Nathan and Terry, revealing he was their childhood doctor. He tells them that Gaz is a bad influence who is ruining their lives. Terry is swayed and takes off his mask, wanting to leave, but Nathan pushes him back. Gaz returns with a tied-up Mary and tells the others she tried to call the police. The situation escalates when Gaz points a gun at Richard and demands Nathan cut Ellen's finger. Nathan hesitates and an argument breaks out between the two friends. When Gaz threatens Nathan with the gun, Nathan begins to cut Ellen's finger but suddenly turns and slashes Gaz's arm instead. A brutal fight breaks out between Nathan and Gaz. Gaz manages to overpower Nathan and stabs him with the box cutter. Richard asks to be untied to help the bleeding Nathan, but Gaz refuses. Gaz threatens to let Nathan bleed out unless Richard gives the safe code. Richard finally gives a set of numbers. Gaz tries the code, but it doesn't work. Richard claims he got the numbers mixed up and gives him a second code. While Gaz is occupied, Mary manages to free her hands. When the second code also fails, Gaz ties Ellen to a wooden beam and prepares to attack her with an electric saw. However, the power cord is too short. While Gaz moves to find another outlet, Mary hits Gaz in the head with a hammer, killing him instantly. Mary frees Richard and they discover a van in the garage attached to the basement. She wants to take Nathan to the hospital, but Richard suddenly produces a hidden gun and tells her no one is leaving. He claims the hospital is too far and that he will treat him there. As they move Nathan upstairs, the power dynamic completely shifts. Richard frees his wife and they take charge. Richard performs surgery on Nathan to remove the blade, while Mary, Terry, and Ellen wait outside. Terry tries to comfort Mary and even attempts to kiss her, but she rejects him harshly, blaming him for the entire situation and revealing that her sister, Jane, left him because she never loved him. Mary becomes suspicious when she notices the phone lines are still dead, meaning Richard lied about calling an ambulance. She realizes she is trapped when she finds all the doors are locked. Ellen, who appears to have a severe mental disorder, attacks Mary for not taking her shoes off, calling her Kate. Richard calms Ellen down and forces everyone to sit for tea. He begins to tell stories about their dead daughter, Kate. Then he shows her a scrapbook Ellen kept, which contains news clippings of all the girls who have gone missing in the area, including Mary's sister, Jane. Mary realizes the couple are serial killers. When she tries to resist, Richard easily disarms her and locks her in a cupboard under the stairs. Terry, who has been drugged with an injection Ellen gave him for his limp, begins to lose feeling in his legs. He starts to hallucinate, believing Mary is Jane. He lets her out of the cupboard, and Mary tries to find a way to escape. The house becomes a trap as Richard and Ellen deploy metal shutters over the windows and fill the rooms with gas. Mary finds Nathan dead in the office. She and Terry try to flee, but Terry is in total denial, wanting to help the elderly couple. After a violent confrontation with Ellen in the kitchen, Mary manages to get the keys and drags the paralyzed Terry to the van in the garage. When she opens the garage door, Richard and Ellen are standing there. Mary tries to run them over, but Terry, who has been given a gun by Richard, shoots Mary. As Mary dies, Richard and Ellen put Terry in a wheelchair, telling him he has earned a reward. Richard finally opens the safe, which is revealed to be the entrance to a secret underground bunker. Inside, Mary's sister Jane is found chained to a bed, alive but broken. It is revealed the couple have been kidnapping girls to replace their daughter Kate. Those who don't cooperate are killed. Terry is locked in the bunker with Jane as his reward. A week later, Terry's mother finishes cleaning the house and mentions to the couple that she is worried her son is missing. Richard and Ellen smile and tell her that young people often just run away.